My niece is excited about a guy who's going to fly her out to meet him, but Teresa a ton of red flags. I told her she shouldn't since they've never met in person, and my family thinks I'm taking away her shot at the one. My niece, who is 24, shared at a recent family gathering that she's been dating a guy long distance for a few months and that he plans to fly her out to spend some time together. After she explained the situation, there were a ton of red flags, and I warned her not to go. Now my sister, her mother, is telling me to mind my business and said I am ruining a potentially wonderful relationship. Here's why I'm concerned. They met online and have never met in person. They FaceTime and text, but he's always in his car or out, never at his home. He's 32. He wants to fly her out, from New England to Portland, Oregon, and plans to stay in a hotel for the trip because he has roommates. He said he can't fly out to meet her here because he's got a lot of commitments. To me, this sounds like a guy who's either married or at least has something weird going on. It seems like a really bad idea for her to go out there. On the other hand, I'm 99.9% against a girl letting a guy she met online fly her anywhere. If a guy can't find somebody in his city/area to date, there's a good reason for it. There might be some very rare case where you bond over a unique hobby or interest, but just generally dating somebody long distance from day one is a concern to me. My sister chatted with him a couple of times and said he seems nice, but it's easy to seem nice from the other side of the country when you can hide any flaws. Am I wrong to think this older guy flying her out to a hotel is suspicious, or am I just an old fart who needs to adapt to the times? Edit. Thanks for the feedback and assurance that I'm not completely crazy here. I had a good conversation with my niece this evening. I told her she should verify some information first and ask some of the questions y'all shared here. She still thinks I'm being paranoid, but she's agreed to at least ask to chat with his roommates a bit and ask for some other details that she can verify on her own. Also, for the folks telling me to mind my business or similar, I know your heart is in the right place, but my niece regularly asks me for advice and this wasn't unsolicited feedback to her. My sister and I are very close and we're also very close with each other's kids. We live near each other and usually have dinner as a big group with our spouses and kids a few times a month. Update. My niece followed my advice and insisted on talking with her boyfriend's roommates and getting some more information about him that she could verify on her own. She also searched lots of "are we dating the same guy" groups. After a couple of weeks of back and forth, it turns out he was hiding a bunch of stuff. As many people pointed out, it was a bit odd for a 32-year-old guy who has a career living with roommates. It turns out that he was actually living with his parents and his financial situation was not great. He got a divorce 2 years ago, had to move in with his parents, and has been struggling to find consistent work since. He apparently also has a son he did not tell my niece about because he's not really a part of his son's life anymore. Needless to say, my niece is breaking up with him. I think she would have been okay with him living with his parents, but the dishonesty about his situation and being a parent was too much. My niece is having a tough time with it right now, but I hope it's for the best in the long run. My sister and I also had some good discussions and she sees my point of view a bit more. My daughter is on the West Coast for an internship, so my wife and I plan to bring my sister and my niece with us to go visit her. It won't make up for the breakup, but at least it's a fun trip away from home. Even though I was right to be suspicious here, I'm also rethinking my opinions on LDR based on some of the positive comments on my last post. Edit. I find it kind of funny that everyone assumes I'm an aunt. I'm an uncle, but I will take the fact that I give aunt vibes as a compliment.